Yeah. When I really know. Yeah. Just say don't praise no one but him, so why should I? No put faith in a man, just look to the east and here shall I. But faith without work is dead, so me never stop working yet. Although struggle is real, still I hold it out stronger than steel. Dog man milk for this the high firm. Hustle every day so paper must earn. No faith in a God, so soon I my turn. When me pray for my way, me not make it wrong turn. Yeah, enough of them want me fall, but him not left my side. So upon Jah my God, now them gonna take my life. Just say don't praise no one but him, so why should I? No put faith in a man, just look to the east and here shall I. But faith without work is dead, so me never stop working yet. Although struggle is real, still I hold it out stronger than steel. So you better don't try give up, man, life is a long road, sometimes you must fall. But that's not the time for you to sit down and ball. When everything else fails, find that Jamaica. No phone, I wish life could have restart. You get the next stripe on a different path, but you feel grateful for anything we you want. Don't let you not go flow by the mercy of God, yeah, yeah. Just say don't praise no one but him, so why should I? No put faith in a man, just look to the east and here shall I. But faith without work is dead, so me never stop working yet. Although struggle is real, still I hold it down stronger than steel, yeah, yeah. Just say don't praise no man but him, so why should I? Why should I? Yeah, yeah.
We are a peaceful people, struggle as we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. This land is all I know. We're gonna make it somehow. We will bend like a bow, but never break. Our fathers came here, and they lived and died here, and we ain't moving nowhere, make no mistake. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass.
We love the open county of the Rupununi and the Essequibo, daytime or night. Though we may criticize it, this is our home, we love it, and we need to keep it. We have that right.
We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river
The APNU-AFC campaigned on a youth platform in 2015. And during the 2015 to 2020 period, we saw how they treated young people. They broke all their promises to the young people. They held no senior positions in the government. The promise of the National Youth Council was not achieved, even though it was in their 100-day plan. And as a matter of fact, President David Granger at the time said that it is not government's responsibility to create jobs for young people. It was President Ali that established the National Youth Council and is the People's Progressive Party civic government that has been standing with young people and working with young people for their own personal development. So young people, beware that they will come around again and make promises they won't keep. Remember, the grass is not always green up on the other side.
See, we got to make it out. My life then couldn't take mine. Got to watch your head side. Come from the worst, when we try to live the best life, so me couldn't left mine. No for them just body not the most, so me coming like a landslide from the hillside. Looking at the mirror, know me proud. So me got the vision, every man no see it now. So we there upon a meditation and try to get rid of from me elevation. Watching how they try to put them up on the top. Dirty hard people now have the best hand out. But you're walking, and I get trapped till the lies, you don't be talking. Boy, on up and get thanks for the make. The amount of negativity about you is a rage. When me by myself out to the Father, me be paid. Need a little balance for the things I may be facing. Need a little blessings, can me have be really waiting. So me have to tip the scales, cause it's too heavy. Get lost in the lies. Not once but twice, yeah. They don't want us to thrive. So we there upon a meditation and try to get me down from me elevation. Watching how they try to put them up on the top. Dirty hard people now have the best hand out. But you're the walking, and I get trapped till the lies and don't be talking. Boy, on up and get thanks up for the making. The amount of negativity, the amount of is raging. Yeah, still I think about the choice. Would you really give your soul to live a better life? So me rather pray to God and watch my blessings multiply. No fear demons, got the Father by my side. Oh, lonely road, oh, Lord, no. Let me give you a little advice. Now everybody dig, man, vibe. Try to get rid of from me elevation. Watching how they try to put them up on the top. Dirty hard people have the best eyes. Oh, so watching how they walking, and I get trapped in the lies and don't be talking. That's all I end up and get thanks for the making. Cut them out of negativity, about your rage. When me by myself out to the Father, me be patient. Need a little balance for the things I may be facing. Need a little blessings, cause me I be really waiting. And me have me really waiting, cause it's too heavy, get lost in the life. Not once but not twice. One is a twice. Why we always stay up on a meditation. Try to get rid of me up on a messed up. Watching how they try to put them up on the top. Reaching out to voodoo or to road a red mud. And I got trapped in the lies and don't be talking.
There's some I didn't know. Sustainable Development Goal number 6 speaks to ensuring that everybody has access to clean water and sanitation by 2030. Here in Guyana, our government has stipulated that by 2025, we should have 100% access to water in the hinterland regions. In 2020, when we took office, hinterland water coverage was 45%. Today, as we are almost at the end of 2024, we have achieved 94% water coverage in the hinterland. And by next year, we will achieve 100% access. We take care of our Amerindian brothers and sisters.
From the islands, from the east to the west side, that's my land. The secret was my home. So that's my home. So when me been a suffer, nobody not been a fight for me. Now everybody want a piece, so we start to reach the silver and where before them bring exam for final food. We know how that fill up their minds, you see, and how that make them a rival way. Me just wish them could have seen all of the years they been a suffer like that. Me say forever, forever and ever. A secret boy my own, a secret boy my own. From the islands and rivers and mountains surrounding, the love in my heart is resounding. I'm loving Guyana, my country, but a secret boy is forever my own. Remember childhood days, the by the riverside and laugh and play. The black water when I learned to swim back then, still living in my memories. Always try live good with neighbors, from them cry we offer assistance. And when we didn't have much, everybody liked us, that's why I don't believe that. When I see it on the media, yo, them could have tried claim peace in my land, when I never see none of them when struggle me not go on, yo, a kind of leader. Fight down poor people for land where them grow up on. Most generous people in the world, from anyone knocked we are open with doors. But forever, forever and ever, a secret boy is my own. A secret boy is my own, yeah. From the islands and rivers and
Wake up, the day is bright, and I feel the blue. Turn your dial for your vibe, we're ready to go. With Courdel Jones, you know it's gonna be real. From 8 to 9, bringing vibes you can feel. News, and what's hot today will keep you wide in every way. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. The day is bright, time to feel the flow. Turn your dial to Livewire, we're ready to go. With Courdel Jones, you know it's gonna be real. From 8 to 9, from 8 to 9, bringing vibes you can feel. News, views, and what's hot today will keep you wired in every way. We'll keep you wired every way, in every way. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. Stories that matter, we got the scoop. From the latest headlines to the local truth. It's your community, your voice, your power. Livewire hits you every hour. So grab your coffee, your tea, your toast. And Courdel Jones will give you the most. Livewire will give you the way. To the energy, the beat of the street, the show that connects, it's where people meet. We're wired to your world, we got the news.
Got the news.
Livewire, there's nothing to lose. Livewire, turn and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. Livewire, turn and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart. Oh, Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. Stories that matter, we got the scoop. From the latest headlines to the local truth. It's your community, your voice, your power. Livewire hits you every hour. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart. It's your community, your voice, your power. Livewire hits you every hour.
Good morning, guys, and welcome to another episode of Livewire. It is the 9th of January, 2025, and I am happy to be here with you guys for yet another program. A lot of stuff for us to discuss this morning. However, before I start, I must encourage you to go and check out last night's episode of Behind the Agenda. Joel dropped some gems on us. We can talk about it here this morning a little bit, but I lapse in. Some of the stuff that Joel said last night, that is what I would usually do. Like go on resort some people. Check out the story. Right? But before we get into that, morning to all the persons across the 10 administrative regions. Morning to all the persons joining us across the diaspora. My mic on? Y'all hearing me? Yes. Morning to all the persons joining us across the diaspora. Special good morning to the persons in the comment section. Really. Oh, special good morning to Jane and her sister. Jane from St. Martin is in Guyana currently. I'm supposed to be seeing them a little later today. Jane, looking forward to meeting you and your sister as well. Really glad that you guys are able to make it home for a little family time. And, to secure the other stuff in Essequibo so that come election time, you can come back and make your mark, right? So, Jane, I'll see you guys a little later today. Morning to the persons in the comment section. Chris, Vishnu Chintaman, Rajendra Singh, Suknandan Bud, morning to you. Balwan Dan Ranch, Joe Nabi John joining us from Canada. Wazim Nabi, good morning to you. Asif Ahmad, Inda Paul Narayan joining us from Minnesota. Miss Ramcharan, morning to you. Ricky Knott, Leslie Mongol, morning to you. Betty Chris joining us from Toronto, Canada. Betty, I heard Toronto was ridiculously cold yesterday. I hope you guys are doing better today. Special good morning to Eunice Raghubeer and Rita as well. I hope you guys are doing well and it's not that cold in your section of Canada. Bibi Kali Charan, good morning to you. Dheeraj Nath, Rajendra Mahes, Tara Rampasad, good morning to you. Pasad Pati joining us from Kitty. Lola Harry, morning to you. Cecile Rampasad, morning to you. Lance Henry joining us from Maryland. Welcome to the program. And Hill, morning to you as well. Who else do we have here? Chitra Sukraj, good morning to you. Mohammed Isaf, Omar Sharif joining us from NYC. Leslie Mangal on the program as well. Corinne Declue, good morning to you. Sarah Mosley, Shirley Singh. Pam, morning to you and Trevor. I hope you guys are doing well over there. I know it's sunny where you are. It's either sun or rain. It's like Guyana. So I ain't worried about you in the cold. If you got a customer early this morning, good morning to your customer as well. Right? Rennie Prasad, morning to you. Who else we got here? Deshaun, my brother, good morning to you. Good morning to Zoe. Good morning to the baby. Mr. and Mrs. Little as well. I saw Miss Bob in a comment earlier. I didn't get down to her comment, but morning to Miss Bob out of Mocha as well. Doing excellent work, ensuring that Maconians benefit from government initiatives and at the same time holding the NDC accountable for its shortcomings and shortfalls, right? Joseph Sitar, also Councillor Stephanie Nelson Moore. I noticed she don't do on my life no more, but still get you a big up. Anyway, Joseph Sitar, morning to you. Philip Diabru, Jamila Kayum, good morning to you. Jagnarain Jagmohan, special good morning to you. This sounds like a name from Essequibo. Jagnarain, where are you from? Savita Rose, morning to you. Philip Diabru, Ormela Gusai. Who else we got here? Philip Gonraj, good morning to you. Jasoda Budram, Bisundat Mohan, good morning to you. Krishna Diodat, morning to you. Derek Drupal, Shakila Bridgelal. Shakila, you in Guyana or are you overseas? I think I knew that you were in Texas and then you come back. But then I think I saw you send me a message telling me that you're gone again. All right, we're watching you. Maureen Razio, morning to you. Alan Khan, good morning to you. Estelle Ramnat, good morning to you. Estelle says it's freezing in Canada. Dress warm. Ion Bipa joining us from Barbados. Good morning to you, brother. Chitra called you before. Ronald Jones, hold a big up. Sherwin Siram, morning to you. Nadi, morning to you. Christopher Prasad, good morning to you. Gil Ian, Ashmi Bazdio, good morning to you. Richard Stanislas, Dionan Suku, Henry Jagdio, Roman Harilal, good morning to you. Dial Sukram, always locked in. I can't thank Dial enough for the support. Dial has been on this program just like Pam and Sally Jones and Prasad Pati and quite a few others that I may not have mentioned from the beginning, offering support and kind words, and I really do appreciate it. Pushram Kishore, morning to you. Vic Pandey, Sarah Aladdin, good morning to you. Shafi, joining us from Florida, morning to you. Shakila Khan, morning to you. Tracy Martindale joining us all the way from Region 7. Morning to all the persons in Region 7 there, the Bells, the Wards, and that's it. We ain't bigging up nobody else in Region 7. We really like too much of them there. I just played around now, don't bother with me. You got any Asian connection you're using? No. Yes. All right. Anyway, back to cricket. Who else we got here? Sunita Sokraj, Denise Ramlal, welcome to the program. This is the first time I'm seeing you here. Guys, please remember to share the program whilst it's live. If you see it passing on your timeline, subscribe to the channel on YouTube. Also, please press the notification bell so that you could be up to date. Morning to Joan Ruplal, Rupert Mahes, Messiah, sorry, what's saying? Mike Bishram, morning to you and the family. Moya Dunlap, morning to you. Special good morning to the Prime Minister representative in Region 2, Mr. Arnold Adams, on the live this morning. Gayatri Baldio. I'm trying to get Mr. Adams to come on this program so we could talk about all the things that are happening in Essequibo. So, Region 2, a lot of these villages in the Pomeroon, they have gotten their wells. There's a new stadium that is being constructed at Anna Regina. There's a lot of work that's happening in the Lima Sands area. There's a lot of work happening in Onderneming. There's a lot of work happening in the Supernam area there where we did the Stelling area and that kind of thing. So, Mr. Adams, I'm calling you after the show. I need you on the program at least a day next week. So I'm giving you advance notice. Andrew Moose, morning to you. And Anthony Wong join us from Canada, Faisal Ghani. Suna Raghubir, Akim Anderson, will a big up. Edward Budu. Good, we done. That's it. Right. Let me jump into it. So I was telling y'all to check out Behind the Agenda last night. Now, Joel dropped a gem on me. Now, I have been listening to commentary from definitely in the Newark, Mr. Adams, definitely. I've been listening to commentary from a representative of a political party who has been touted as an oil and gas expert. A oil and gas expert. You understand? And I'll say this to you right here, right now. Right? I'll say this to you right here, right now. All the time, I could have swear Dr. Vincent Adams was Bill Gates when it come to oil and gas. But lo and behold, Dr. Vincent Adams is not even a Bill Fence. You understand? That is the reality of the situation. So we had an individual that the AFC is touting as their oil and gas export. And the man has never worked a day in the oil and gas industry. Y'all understand what I'm telling you? When I talk about Bill Gates, you swear he got everything going on, but he didn't even start to build a fence yet. Madness. So this is one of the gems Joel dropped last night. Now, on his way out of the Department of Energy, you understand me? On his way out of the Department of Energy, they did a wonderful story about his career. You understand? A wonderful story about his career. And the fact that it was a career that spanned 30 years at the Department of Energy. But after I had the conversation with Joel last night, I decided to do a little more research because I was wondering It's 30 years this man spent as the deputy manager of the Portsmouth Paddock Project office, or whatever it is. Is 30 years he spent there? No, it's not. So Dr. Vincent Adams served as the deputy manager of this office that is within a department within the Department of Energy in the US. Riaz Ali, morning to you. Arnold Hanuman, morning to you as well. Lola Hari, Imran Ali, morning. Richard Stanislas, morning. So he was a deputy manager of an office within a department, within the Department of Energy in the United States of America. Now, I wanted to know how long he actually served as a deputy manager. The record shows that it was from August 2016, you hear me? That he stepped into the role of deputy manager, August of 2016, and he retired in December of 2016. Y'all understand what I'm telling you? So even in the role of the deputy manager of an office within a department within the Department of Energy, me ain't even make a whole year. He ain't even make a whole year. In case y'all didn't know which Vincent Adams are talking about, this guy here. This guy. You understand? This guy. Now, Joel didn't want to dwarf his efforts as the office manager, and I don't want to as well. But don't let's misrepresent what actually is. They lambasted Leonard Craig for correcting this individual, and I must lament the fact that whilst he worked in the Department of Energy, he has never worked in an office or a department that dealt with oil and gas policy, oil and gas production, oil and gas exploration, or anything of the sort. Vincent Adams has zero experience in oil and gas. Zero. Right? So I was glad that Joel was able to bring that out and allow me to go and check and see what's actually going on. Now, Dr. Adams often presents himself as an oil and gas expert, particularly highlighting his tenure in the U.S. Department of Energy, completely misrepresenting what he actually was doing there. So I had to do some closer examination of his career, and the roles do not align with the expertise that he claims in the oil and gas sector. Right? Now, again, he served as the deputy manager of a project office. The deputy manager, the role of deputy manager of a project office within the Department of Energy from August 2016 to his retirement in December of 2016. Before that appointment that he had there, he was the site director of the site director and federal project director of the decontamination, you hear me? Decontamination and the decommissioning project at the Portsmouth diffusion plant in Ohio. And he was serving there from 2010. None of these roles that I would have mentioned to you has anything to do with oil and gas. These are facilities that deal with nuclear energy and nuclear weapons and those kinds of things. Nothing to do with oil and gas. Right? Now, the good doctor holds an advanced degree in petroleum and geological engineering, which this degree provides the person who would have studied the course with if a foundational understanding, and I want you to be clear. I want to be clear. A foundational understanding of the oil and gas industry. Right? So that's like me going to do introduction to computers and coming back and tell you I'm an IT expert. You understand where I'm coming from? Me going to global don't call no name. Me going to a computer school and they teach me how to turn on the computer. They teach me how to open Word, do little typing. I could make an Excel document. I could turn off the computer. Then I come into your country or your agency and say, hey, I am an IT expert. I ain't do C++. I ain't do a network. Well, C++ is networking. I ain't do networking. I ain't do maintenance and repair. I ain't know binary language, nothing. And IT is something I studied a little, not too advanced, at like a mid-level. You understand? So, really? Because you work at the office, within a department, within the Department of Energy, you're an oil and gas expert all of a sudden? You got to stop it. You got to stop it. But what I want to maintain is the good doctor's professional experience, particularly during his tenure at the Department of Energy, was centered around environmental management and nuclear facility oversight, rather than direct involvement in the oil and gas sector. And if I line on you, Dr. Adams, sue me. Right? If I'm misrepresenting your illustrious career in the oil and gas sector. If I'm misrepresenting your expertise to comment on oil and gas policies. If your course doesn't just give you a foundational insight into the oil and gas industry, and there's an advanced one that you did, you let us know, and we're going to look into it. But as of now, sir, not just one seat, but several seats I think you need to have, and not be so pronounced with your misinformation. Man, look, Uncle. I am not disputing that this man has a doctorate, you know. I am not disputing. Okay, Ronald Jones. Okay, Ronald Jones. So I am saying to you, it is a case of, or let me give you another example. Now, my Uncle Ronald, we can get personal here now, because he in my comment section talking stupid. So look, he come in. Don't do that. Don't do that, man, like that. He have a doctorate degree. I'm not disputing that. My uncle is indeed an IT expert. He develops websites. He writes programs. He knows binary language. The zeros and ones good. He could probably do PC repair and that kind of thing. But his ex-wife was a communication specialist. So it's like Ronald Jones, because he's in close proximity of his wife or ex-wife, who is a communication specialist, he is now touting himself as a communication specialist. You understand where I'm coming from, Uncle Ronald? So not because you were associated or you were in close proximity to something, it makes you an expert on it. Your expertise is IT, not communications. Right? So Dr. Adams' expertise, that his doctorate, his doctorate degree allows him to be conferred with the Dr. Adams on his name, deals with decommissioning and decontamination, not the oil and gas sector. You understand? Decommissioning and decontamination, not the oil and gas sector, Uncle Ronald. So I just want you to understand where I'm coming from, because this gentleman often has a lot to talk about contract and renegotiation and who should do what and who should do. You need to decommission that nonsense that you're doing on Friday at the AFC press conference. And I hope I'm able to be added to the press conference tomorrow, when I'm functioning in my journalistic capacity, to ask Dr. Adams to share with us which or what part of his career at the Department of Energy had anything to do with oil and gas management, exploration, policy that would give him the leeway to make all the insightful statements that he is making. And if so, that he does not have the kind of experience and expertise in that sector, why Leonard Craig can't talk? Because you just like Leonard Craig. You just like Leonard Craig. You weren't at you weren't the deputy manager for 2 years, 30 years, 3 years. August 2016 to December 2016. There was almost the period, the current president, the waiting when the coalition people, they're trying to rig the election. There was around the same amount. God, that was around the amount of time he was in managing his office. The president, the current president, was waiting to be sworn in after winning the election. Just look, these people is trouble. These people is trouble. Now, given the discrepancies between his academic background and professional experience, Dr. Adams' frequent commentary on the oil and gas or on oil and gas matters may not be fully substantiated by practical industry experience. And that's what I want Uncle Ronald to understand. That I'm not disputing that this man has a doctorate. I'm not disputing that this man worked in the Department of Energy, but in a much lesser capacity than is often touted in different forums. So he was not, matter of fact, let me show you. Like I said, Joel dropped the gems on me last night. So if you look, you see here the office, right? Dr. Vincent Adams retiring after 30 years at the DOE, 30-year DOE career. Deputy manager of EM's office, right? So we see this here. So let's look at the organizational chart to see where in the Department of Energy, where this fish being on the line. He was a big fish at the top of the pyramid, or he's a little fish in the bottom. Let us take a look. So this is the organizational structure for the Department of Energy. I'll leave it on the screen. Could y'all please look? Because I looked last night. I was looking this morning. And there's no position on the chart for a deputy manager of the Portsmouth, wherever office. There's nothing there. So clearly, he wasn't in any substantive role that warranted a position on the organizational chart. So he fell into one of these lower boxes way down the line. There's nothing here that speaks to a deputy office manager. Actually, I think there's one, but not the one that he was claiming to be. Let me find it. Where is it? Office of Defense and Nuclear, Budget, General Office Counsel. Nothing about a deputy manager for decommissioning and decontamination. They even got a department that is focused on that. So there's an Office of Environmental Health and Safety. So you never know. Under the Office of Environmental Health and Safety, probably under some other offices, that's where Vincent Adams comes in. So he way down the line and coming to Guyana like he was this God's gift to the energy agency in the US. But the coalition administration gave us a mediocre joker as the head of the EPA. Well, he probably would have functioned better there. Now, another thing that came out, I want to put your face back on the screen because, like I said, champ, if I'm lying, you sue me. You sue me if I'm lying on you. This guy was the head of the Environmental Protection Agency under the coalition administration, right? The head of the Environmental Protection Agency under the coalition administration. Now, I would like Dr. Vincent Adams to say to us, during his tenure as the head of this Environmental Protection Agency, how many years whilst he was in charge, he ensured that the agency was audited so that the people of Guyana knows where the money going, how it's spending, and there's no corruption. So a person could say, Vincent Adams, your tenure at the EPA was clean and without blemish, and we scrutinize it, and you're a good guy. Vincent Adams needs to tell us that. How many years whilst you sat at the head of the EPA did you ensure that the EPA was audited? And these are the same persons that will jump on their Zoom press conference tomorrow and talk about corruption and all these things going wrong and friends, family, and favorites. Vincent is somebody's friend. Vincent is somebody's friend. You understand? And I wanted to share this with you this morning because I felt like some persons may have missed the program yesterday with Joel. And I wanted persons to realize what Guyanese had and what they want to give to Guyanese in the future. Could you imagine this guy is our natural resource minister making oil and gas policy? Huh? That's like you taking Darren Wade to represent you in court and hoping that you win. Makes no sense. None whatsoever. Right? Once you take Darren Wade, well, hey, most likely I going down. I don't fight up. Let me go. You might think I enough money. He's a cheap liar. You understand? And he might say, I ain't pay he. And indeed, I didn't pay him because he lost the case. You understand me? And I think that there should be a movement in Guyana that stipulates these lawyers don't get paid unless they win. Because they like for you to go and pay them up front. And then they fully well and know they ain't got a good case and they can't defend it. And they're going to go in there and do stupidness and take your money. You understand? They will still take your money. That's the kind of lawyers they got. Some. And we can talk about some lawyers too. We got lawyers that work in the system for how much years and win one case on behalf of the people. But we come into that just now. Hold on. So I'm glad I'm able to share this with you in relation to Mr. Adams so you can have a clear understanding of who is the voice of authority that speaks to you on Friday from the AFC's press conference and the level of experience that he has in the oil and gas sector. Has never implemented any policy in the Department of Energy, submit no plan in relation to oil and gas in the Department of Energy, never work in a department within the Department of Energy in relation to oil and gas. Spill management, nothing in relation to oil and gas. Nuclear, that's his forte. That's where his experience lies. Decommissioning and decontamination. Not the oil and gas sector. You see what I do there? Right? You see what I do there? He got 2 Ds, but not the D that does matter here in Guyana. We don't need to decommission or decontaminate any nuclear facility. But the oil and gas sector in Guyana needs somebody with sense to manage it. And Dr. Adams, I don't think you are the person for that. Right? Good. Let me move on. So, let me come to we buy. So, guys, this is a newsroom report. Let me get into the credits. You're seeing that up there. Another thing Joe spoke about last night, and I'm glad he gave me a little content this morning because I woke up late. Another thing Joe spoke about last night is the extrajudicial killings conversation that has resurfaced. Now, this is what I'm saying to you. I heard about these extrajudicial killings when I was very young. I just moved back from Trinidad and getting back into school in Guyana. All sorts of things were going on, and I heard about this. And where I used to live in Macdoom, at my mother's house there, it's very close to Agricola. I had family in Agricola, so when we'd go to visit, sometimes you might hear persons talking and, oh, the police do this or the police do that, and that kind of thing. But nothing was ever substantiated with evidence that you could say, well, yes, this has happened. Now, I am saying that if Nigel Hughes has claimed to represent these people, and morning, Zoe, Kamish Jaikaran, morning to you as well. Sridhar Rabindranath, morning to you. Right? So if it's Nigel Hughes representing 1,200 Guyanese who were allegedly killed extrajudicially, not one case you win, brother. Not one judgment you will secure for at least one family to say, well, look, yes, this guy was actually killed extrajudicially. Are you trying to say, Nigel Hughes, that the court system was working against you and those families? And to mention at his press conference that you've been practicing law for 30 plus years, and you represented a majority of the 1,200 persons, and you haven't secured any conviction or compensation or any justice on their behalf, you and Dr. Adam should take a seat. He should take a seat out of oil and gas conversations, and you should take a seat out of litigation. Right? You should take a seat out of litigation. Oh gosh, I closed this thing. So let me take you guys back. Not far back as the 1,200 scene, but to show you that this guy has a poor track record as an attorney. I mean, I guess his voice allows him to, resonate with people and they come to give him work. Just yesterday or the day before, I saw he lost some case for Caribbean Airlines at when they had some accident. And it seems to me that as a lawyer, he doesn't assess these cases based on the information. It's most likely, or I'm assuming, that it is based on the person's ability to pay. So if you are able to pay the fees, we can defend you whether you're right, wrong, indifferent, whatever. Everybody deserves defense. I admit that. But there are lawyers that they sit and listen to your story and then make a determination whether they think you're lying or not. And based on that determination, they say, okay, I can take this case, or nah, I can't handle this. But top dog, like, he taking everything. Want the money, they taking everything. So you remember this situation that I'm gonna play for you. And in some cases, he does pro bono work. I'm gonna this dispute that. But it is in an effort, because a lot of you might not know. But in Guyana, I think I don't think it's a law, but there's something against attorneys advertising. If any Guyanese on this live can't tell you ever in their life they saw an ad on TV for a law office, I don't even think I've seen one in the newspapers, probably in the classifieds. Have I seen one in the classifieds? I don't think so. But I think there's something against lawyers advertising. So what they do, they try to latch themselves onto these high-profile cases. You understand? So, like Darren Wade, who by many accounts is a complete retard, and a mook, described as a mook by his colleagues at UG whilst he was going there. The boy is a mook. That I talked to 100 people, 99.5 tell me Darren is a mook. The half man was the only one who decided, well, we're gonna call you a mook. But the boy was a mook. So take for instance Darren Wade. They attach themselves to these cases, so their name is mentioned as one of the attorneys. You remember people reading the papers, reading social media posts. I said, oh, what, Darren Wade representing this person in this matter? Wait, Darren Wade, well, Nigel Hughes. You understand? So those names sticking in your head, you're seeing them in the news articles, not an ad, but you see them as the representatives of in these the high profile cases. So you got a matter, you say, hey, I see them people use Darren Wade for this big case. It's best I take you at least he sort out my situation. And that's how this get a little lads. Now I want to take you back to this story here, right? I had pulled up the stuff on the map, but apparently like I closed it. I got to open it up whilst the story playing so y'all could see. But this is the kind of thing that Nigel Hughes does normally engage himself with. And I am saying, as a lawyer, you listen to the story and it makes sense to you. Now, look at this here.
Devon Light of Magdoom East Bank Demerara said he was working on the roof of the Guyana Softball Association on Carafesta Avenue and saw what happened. He told this story on Monday morning in the presence of prominent attorney Nigel Hughes at Hughes' Hatfield Street Georgetown law offices. The three men shot dead were 46-year-old Dex Roy Cordis of Grove East Bank Demerara, 37-year-old Kwame Asana, and 57-year-old Errol Dynamite Adams. Hughes said that based on Light's version.
No, before we continue, I just want to give you an idea of what, or the oh God, what's the right word? I want to give you an idea of the layout of the land with where the witness was, where this incident took place, right? Now, I want y'all to see there's a yellow building in the back on the seawall side, right? I just want y'all to understand that is where this place used to be. Somebody was telling me about it the other day. They had this bar on the other side of the seawall. What was the name of it? Not Ocean View. Not the Deck. Anybody remembers that bar that, well, it was like a restaurant and bar right next to where the roundabout is, just after the pump at Kitty there. It was they closed it down a while now, but they used to have some excellent ginger beef and ginger sauce out there. And you could go and sit out there. You're on the other side of the seawall where the ocean is. And you could go on the Salinas, Sunil Batulal. Morning to you, Chief. Salinas, right? So that Salinas building you see in there, there's a guy on your screen in a pink shirt. I think he's a police. Just above him, there's a building that you're seeing there. That is Salinas, right? Now, let me show you this here. So this here is a map of the area. Now, they said this man was at softball ground, right? On the roof at softball ground. So this ground is Everest, the Ministry of Education. They got GNS, and I think Saints had a ground somewhere here or something. So softball ground is somewhere in this vicinity where the Ministry of Education ground here. I think NIS got a ground here as well. Between the Ministry of Education and I think NIS ground, that's where they're calling the softball ground. Let me see if this mouse showing on the screen, because I pointing, I want y'all to see what I'm talking about. Okay, good. So the mouse moving on the screen. So right, so this here is the softball ground. Let me zoom in a little more. Right around here. Salinas, which we saw, let me show you again. Salinas, which we saw, is in the background. There. So this is, let me say, 100 meters, 200 meters from Salina, right? People just run 100 meter, people just run 200 meter in less than 10 seconds. Let me say you have to walk it, it can take you about a minute, 2 minutes to reach Salinas. 2 minutes away from Salinas or so. Walking. Right? So this is the ground. Look where Salinas is. So now they got a roundabout here. Right? This is where Salinas was. This location here. This is where Salinas was. I just ping it on the map there to show you. Right here. This is where Salinas was. This is where this young man claimed to be. Here, around this area here. And he saw, well, let me say, the incident happened around here. So this is Salinas. The incident probably happened around here, around this area. So he's seeing from here all the way here, and Nigel Hughes took up the case. Nigel Hughes took up the case. Y'all understand what I'm telling you? Okay, so if he said Legionnaires ground, then if Legionnaire ground is what I remember, Maze on the 12 was there. So if this is right, then it's this ground right here, just after Everest. Softball ground, just after Everest. So you see the road going in there. So Maze on the 12 used to rent this building as a school. No, the back, both, I think. Both buildings they used to rent as a school. Maze on the 12 before they moved to Sobrianville. Before I moved to Trinidad, I went to Maze on the 12 with Miss French. Excellent teacher. You understand? So this is softball ground here. Right? And me by see all the way here. And Niger take up the case. So I was showing you. Sorry, I had the wrong thing on the screen. So Maze on the 12 was here. They used to rent these two buildings. Assembly was in this building and admin. And some of the classes were in there as well. And this is softball ground here. Now I guess they call it Ministry Education ground. Right? And me by see quite so. Like what Trinidad would say. Quite so. Quite so by here. And Nigel take this case. Y'all understand what I'm showing you? Let me continue.
It suggests that the three men were not armed and did not resist arrest. However, he has also claimed that from where he was, he could not tell if the men were indeed armed or if, in fact, they fired at the police.
So imagine, just like I tell y'all, from the distance that we are looking at here, how in heaven's name you see him tilt quite down the road here to see who shoot who? And you understand? And using this man as an eyewitness to events.
And Mr. Light, if you said you didn't notice any exchange of gunfire, but the police, I believe their car had two bullet holes, and they said that they were fired upon.
And I won't be able to see upon that part because you can't see the distance away.
So, if you can't see, how are you an eyewitness to see while shooting? How are you an eyewitness? You can't see. You just said so. You can't see. So how are you an eyewitness? Mind you, this case was thrown out of the court. This guy that on your screen right now, right? This guy that on your screen right now was absent from scheduled police interviews so that he could make clear to investigators what he knew. Other witnesses provided statements indicating that Light was not present on the roof at the time of the shooting. So other people who work it on the same softball ground, when they hear these gunshots, can you want to hear it? Said the man be on the roof. So like I tell you, attorney sees police engaging criminals were killed. This is an opportunity for to be seen in the press. You can get the press can come and interview your client. Everybody can know it's Nigel Hughes representing him, and people can call you. Right? Again, I'm saying to you that based on the physical, this is just what I do here. Pull up the map. Just what I do here. Nigel Hughes could do. Pull up the map and look at it and say, wait, this distance here, how you even, oh Lord. Now, given these inconsistencies, the reliability of the eyewitness account presented by Hughes was questionable. And the police maintained that their actions were justified. Now, I want to take y'all to another instance. Let me pull it up. Hold on. And if you notice, when Guyana is at its worst, Gina Lewis going on Facebook, she need to stop it. When Guyana is at its worst, you can often find a certain group very close to it. When Guyana is at its worst. Now, I remember this protest that I'm going to show you now, because at the time I was where was I? I think I was working at either 65 or Kaichur News, right? Either 65 or Kaichur News. And when I was going home, well, I used to live at MacDoom, so it wasn't that hard for me to get in because I got out and I just walked up the road. The issue was at Agricola, the village after me, right? But I remember women, children, students stopping at Houston and footing it across MacDoom to Agricola. Because you remember the buses couldn't pass, they blocked the road. So they had to walk across the battle zone to catch the bus to continue up the East Bank. And some of them come back running helter-skelter because the protesters didn't have time with the resignation of the minister. They know they had a reason to go on the road and violate people. And this gentleman here is going to come to you this year and say, vote for me to be president. Vote for me to be president. And what y'all need to understand as well is not now Mr. Hughes has been inciting issues or raising issues and then disappearing and letting whatever happened unfold. So just like the argument that he rose with the 3 and 4 nonsense and then disappear, the same thing he did here. Rile up the people and disappear.
For Change Chairman Nigel Hughes told media that mass protests and demonstrations will be the result if government did not ask its Home Affairs Minister Clement Rohi to resign.
Did the AFC ask Patterson to resign? Did the AFC ask Patterson to resign? And look, y'all don't mention Nkosi on this live. Up to now, I can't get what I'm supposed to get from Nkosi. 12 o'clock pass and gone. You see how these people stay? Anyway, did the coalition government ask George Norton to resign when he was renting an empty drug barn? Did they ask him to resign or did they just shift it to another location? Did they ask Sherrod Duncan to resign as an MP when he disappeared the money out of Chronicle? No. They had to fire him. You go home. You terrible. Sherrod, I'm sorry, bro. I couldn't help myself. You understand? Did they ask the former housing minister, Miss Patterson, to resign when she was giving her husband contracts? Did they ask, what's this guy's name by? A bald head Afro guy When he's the one who said indigenous people getting too much, they want grant and they want oil. They asked him to resign for that racist statement about Guyana's first people? No. They asked Christopher Jones to resign after collecting his director a sports salary, collecting his member parliament salary, and Keith Scott, thank you, Leslie Mongal. Keith Scott, they asked Keith Scott to resign. They asked Christopher Jones to resign. MP salary, director sports salary, and you going to get grant to open barbershop. They asked you to resign. Did they ask the pork eating rasta out of Linden, whether it's him or his brother, because both of them got the same name? The figure, whether it's Jormain or Jormain. And anyway, don't let me comment on that, because it might come off as disrespectful. But they ask any one of them to resign? They protest for them to resign? This is how these people stay. When the issue boss with the bangles, bracelets, and bed sheet, they ask Annette to resign? They ask David to resign? When Kemraj Ramjatan had Guyana national animal, the jaguar, skin on the wall as the Minister of Public Security, they asked him to resign? Did they ask him to resign? So I'm wondering on what grounds. So story is this. Anyway, yeah. Did they ask those people to resign? And I could go on and on and on and on and on. Right? On and on and on and on about people that they didn't ask to resign. But look what they do in relation to a minister of government and coming from an opposition side. You have no authority to make such a demand. None. Right? The minister that they were requesting or demanding a resignation from didn't serve at the pleasure of the opposition. The opposition didn't make him the minister. You understand? But look.
Yesterday, Hughes continued to promote and insisted that the opposition political parties had a plan to ensure that these demonstrations took place once the minister did not resign. At an AFC press conference on the same day, sharing the head table with Moses Nagamutu, Nigel Hughes gave the president and government of Guyana,
and you notice he does holler. Anyway,
an ultimatum to have the minister resign by 12 midnight or face the consequences.
If the citizenry, especially from deprived neighborhoods,
and that's my problem with this banner, he's articulate well. So persons listening to this get sucked in. If the citizenry from deprived neighborhoods feel like they are not in receipt of justice, then they're going to take stuff into their own hands. That's Nigel. And this capture a lot of people. But it's basically foolishness. He's telling people to go out on the road to either get injured, arrested, or something.
Form the impression that the justice system is not in a position to deliver to them justice and due process. They may well be tempted to do what they think is...
I am saying, sir, you're a lawyer, so you represent them. So you have to convince the justice system to give them justice. That there's grounds to give those people justice. That's not how it works. Because you determine somebody need justice, or that person determines they need justice. Justice is meted out to them. You have to go in front of a court, Mr. Hughes, as you would know, because I think you do mock court or moot court or whatever they call it. You have to go in front of a court and either convince a judge, a magistrate, or a jury of your arguments. One of the things used to convince them is evidence of your arguments. You understand? Or evidence, providing evidence to say, well, yes, this took place. So the 1,200 extrajudicial killings that you spoke about, the evidence to say, well, okay, this took place, this is how it happened, these people, whatever, the police, no evidence. So based on your lack of evidence, the courts did not take you seriously for 30 years in relation to those matters. You understand? And apparently they're still in taking you seriously now. You lose your wife case, you lose the Caribbean Airlines case, but what else?
Necessary to protect themselves. And when we reach that stage, the country is in real chaos. And I believe that the next steps, and I don't want to prejudice the discussions that we will have, require mass demonstrations. Mass demonstrations.
The FC and APNU organized and coordinated.
So look at this here.
To the unrest and
let me mute this audio. Give me a second. Right. So what you're looking at here, is just outside of Agricola. So could you imagine the police out there, it riot gear, a man with cutlass and all kind of thing, because people like Nigel Hughes empower these people to come out and make the regular Guyanese life a living hell. I think they had people lashing the police shields with cutlass and all kind of thing. They ain't had no time. Watch, look what's going on. You know how much Guyanese who had nothing to do with this suffered during this period? You know how many Guyanese? And typically, you're not gonna see Nigel Hughes out there saying, all right, let's protest in the corner peacefully. Let's hold our placards and demand justice from the government because they didn't give us the resignation at 12. Okay? So don't block the roadways. Let persons who have nothing to do with this get home. No, you're not going to see him out there. Rile up the people and then lose them while on the population. And then going to probably turn and say, well, I wasn't out there, so I can't answer for what happened out there with those folks. I wasn't there at the time. I was at court or I was at home. You understand? You see what's going on here? You see what's going on here? They should protest Nigel Hughes for not being able to represent them properly. Imagine he's so emboldened that he see all them police there. He in care. So don't be fooled. Later this year, the same guy who said that this will be the way forward wants you to make him president. And you have to remember that these kinds of things have a way of repeating themselves. Right? These are the kind of people I was talking about that were affected. Innocent bystanders. Not nobody that belonged to the PPP. Not nobody who is a civic. Innocent people trying to get home were robbed. Some get beat up. More so the Indo-Guyanese who are trying to pass at this time. And these are things people must remember. I live right up the road. Right up the road. You understand? It was a horror show. Anyway, guys, I get out of here. Don't forget, 2 p.m. today, the General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party will be having his weekly press conference so as to allow the AFC to have something to talk about tomorrow. According to Leonard, according to Leonard Craig. That's not my opinion. That's what Leonard said. Right? Also, Shari, just let me show you the thing. Right? So 2 p.m. today, the 9th, the General Secretary will have his press conference to ensure you guys tune in and keep up to date with what you need to be kept up to date with. Right? That aside, I must say something for you to look forward to as well. On the 17th, which is Friday, there will be the budget presentation by the Honorable Dr. Ashni Singh, who is the Senior Minister within Office of the President with responsibility for finance and public service. So you guys can look forward to that. Some things that we know that will be there an increase in pension, an increase in the because we care. That's what I know for sure. I could tell you without seeing the budget. Increase in pension, increase in because we care. Right? So those are some things you guys to look forward to. For those who are not able to sit and look at the entire budget presentation, there will be snippets that will be posted on several social media sites to give you the short form of what's in the budget for you. Right? Based on what happened this year, I can only expect great things in budget 2020. Sorry, based on what happened last year, I can only expect great things for budget 2025. There has been a massive transformation in 2024 and 2025, as President Ali would have indicated. The developmental thrust will continue. Right? That's all the time I have for today. It was really wonderful being here with you guys. Please stay safe on the roadways. Look out for the kiddies as they are back at school. And as I usually say before I go, it's all about peace. It's all about love. It's all about one Guyana.
Just I don't praise no one but him, so why should I? No put faith in a man, just look to the east and hail Shaddai. But faith without work is dead, so me never stop working yet. All those struggle is real, still I hold it out stronger than steel. Dog man milk for this the high firm. Hustle every day so paper must earn. No faith in a God, so soon I my turn. When me pray for my way, me no make it wrong turn. Yeah, enough of them want me fall, but him not left my side. So upon Jah my God, now them gonna take my life. Just I don't praise no one but him, so why should I? No put faith in a man, just look to the east and hail Shaddai. But faith without work is dead, so me never stop working yet. All those struggle is real, still I hold it out stronger than steel. So you better don't try give up, none to life is a long road, sometimes you must fall. But that's not the time for you to sit down and ball, when everything else fail, find a Jamaica. No, no phone, I wish life could have restart. You get the next stripe on a different path, but you feel grateful for anything we you want. Don't let you knock off flow by the mercy of God, yeah, yeah. Just I don't praise no one but him, so why should I? No put faith in a man, just look to the east and hail Shaddai. But faith without work is dead, so me never stop working yet. All those struggle is real, still I hold it down stronger than steel, yeah, yeah. Just I don't praise no man but him, so why should I? Why should I? Yeah, yeah.
5 a.m. digital going global.
Alex.